Good morning from day 27 on the Appalachian Trail. We are up and at 'em early this morning because we are contemplating either doing 13 or 20 miles and we can't decide. But look at the view behind me, isn't it gorgeous? And thankfully it's not raining today. Last night I actually got hot in my sleeping bag, which is crazy to think because the first night we were out here I was in 3 layers of clothing plus my puffy, and I had hot hands on my feet. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning from the Smokies. We're rolling this morning.
Up, up, up today. We're walking in the clouds. We were just hoping that it would be this flat all the way to the gap. But I'm not going to be the bearer of bad news that it's not. I think I was just overheard. Third little pull we've done today. Let me see if you can see it. Not significant, but long. So draining. Here we go. Making up some time. Hello, little fella. How are you? Hello. It's the first time I've been up front so that I can see the little critters. Okay, we're going to check out Tricorner Shelter for a snack break. And here is Tricorner Shelter. Don't know. Is that cheese? So this is my friend Peel's belt that he made. I tried to get him to buy a belt, but he said, no, why buy a belt when I can make a belt?
This is a lot lighter.
And it's a lot lighter, and he reminds me a lot of my friend Jordan. So my friend Jordan, who I work with, we actually do a lot of hiking together because we take the students on hiking trips together right here in the Smokies. And a couple of years ago, we took some students on a trip, and one of the students' shoes, broke. Actually, the bottom part broke off. It started talking, when the bottom sole comes off and starts talking. And we were in the middle of the trail, there's nothing we can do. There's no help that can be had. So we tried duct tape. That didn't work because it was wet. Because just so you know, everything in the Smokies, everything always just stays wet. Humidity is just always high. We tried Leuco tape, which I had. Did not work. So my friend Jordan, he has this paracord bracelet that he has around his wrist. And so he's like, well, let me just take this apart. And he ties this kid's shoe. He MacGyvers it together in a way that just amazed me. I was like, what in the world are you doing? But he did it. And so my friend Peel reminds me a lot of my friend Jordan. And it's just been really fun to hike with him. He also uses the same bird app. I think it's called Merlin or something like that. And Jordan always used that too. So it's just been really fun to hike with Peel because it's like having one of my best friends with me all the time. So Jordan, I miss you. It's kind of like I'm already hiking with you. All right. Now we're back on the trail. The sun is poking out. We're either a quarter of the way through our hike or a little over a third of the way through our hike. Fourth big pull of the day. What'd you say?
Every time I pass one of those turned up like that, with the roots out, and it's like it's a cave.
Yeah.
I think, man, what a great place for a bear to crawl up under and sleep.
I won't be able to think of anything else now. Thank you. Yeah, the birds singing. Aren't they pretty? It's an interesting section. go.
Pieces of stone were put there. That's concrete.
Here is the little bits of wreckage we could find from a plane crash from 1984. It was an Air Force RF-4C Phantom II that crashed into the Smokies. Okay, you see Dave? He's in the very back there. Okay, so he's been hiking with us. Well, he's been at the shelter with us for a few days now. I think he goes by the name Rebel. Anyway, the more he talks, the more interested I am to know his story. So I think at the next shelter, I'm going to have him tell us a little more about himself. Because at that last plane crash, well, the other plane crash that we've come across anyway, he was given hints that he has a story. And I'm curious. Whoa, look at those roots. Huge. Here, for reference, you can see how the guys look next to it.
Okay, let's try this.
Here we are, 5th climb of the day. And then we're gonna take a little lunch break at Cosby Shelter. I know this isn't uphill, but this sure is beautiful. Oh, goodness. What a beautiful day. There's more of those sweet little Carolina flowers I was showing you yesterday. They're all along the trail. Look how pretty they are. That looks kind of fresh. Huh. It smells like Christmas. This is Cosby Knob Shelter. Very nice shelter. And has a fireplace. It is a double-decker with actual headroom on both levels. Looks like the roof doesn't leak, which is amazing. All the shelters in the AT have had tarps up, and according to the Ridge Runner that we talked to, they do that in the winter. They have these nice little hangs that you can hang your backpacks on, but of course you have to hang your food bags out on the bare cables outside. This shelter also has a water source right next to the shelter, which is nice, and the water is flowing. Excellent. Has a nice little babbling brook next to it, and also an excellent area for tent up if you have to. However, I'm sorry to say, we're not staying here. The guys and I have agreed that we're going to press on. We've done 13 miles. We're going to push the additional 7 and go to Davenport. I can't believe it. We're going to try to do a 20-mile day and climb a fire tower. And we're off. Goodbye, Cosby Shelter. One of the nicest shelters in the Smoky Mountains, but we're not going to stay at. Okay. I see the white blaze, which leads us to the fire tower.
That's the deal, right?
That's the one. That's where we're going. You want to climb a fire tower? This is the last climb of the day. Unfortunately, it's a 2-mile climb, but it's the last one. Okay. My view going up the trail to the fire tower. Thank you. Appreciate you. We're about 3/10 of a mile from the fire tower. But man, do they make the fire towers hard to get to. Whew, I'm plumb tired. Let's see. Let's talk about the things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that there's no ice on the ground and that I don't have to wear my micro spikes. Okay. I'm thankful that the weather's beautiful today. I'm thankful for rhododendron. I'm thankful that it's not raining. Okay. Most of these things are weather related. Okay. Okay, Peel and Train were itching to get to the shelter, Davenport, and they weren't so excited about climbing the tower. But Rebel and I are excited about the tower. So the side trail to get to the tower, it was 0.6. So we have added 1.2 miles to our day today. But I'm thinking it's going to be worth it. Here we go. I guess they don't make the good stuff easy to get to. Huh. Yep. I think so. Wow. Well, the sun's coming out. We might get our view. Well, they're not stairs to get up here. They're stones. Wow. Did you guys see that? I do some rock climbing to get up here. Alright, this is what he meant by muddy. Well, not bad. You should see my shoes right now. You know, I was going to replace these shoes after 500 miles. They might have to replace sooner. Wait. Okay. Look at my shoes. I don't think a helicopter can land out here. Alright, 3 points of contact. Remember, guys, 3 points of contact. Let's climb. Alright, here we go. Time to climb. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Now, where do we go? Oh, over there. Okay. This probably just needs to be its own video. My gracious. Are we there yet?
It is impressive.
It is impressive. Okay. There it is. Oh, there's people up here too. Okay. There it is. That's what we worked for. Ta-da! I shouldn't have done the ta-da. We're not there yet. Okay. Now ta-da. Okay. Woo! Good thing I saved some electrolytes. Because I still gotta get back down. And we did that with a pack on. And I made it. Safe and sound. I haven't gotten back down yet, but I'm here now. Okay, I'm gonna go up and take a look. We got a good view day. Looky here. Whoa. Can't beat that. These are the steps at the top. This is the drop. That's what I had to climb up to get here. Thankfully, they had a little step right there that helped. And thankfully, they put these steps here too. That was nice.
I got a bar. I got 2 bars.
Here's the inside. Looks like the floorboards are all messed up though. I'd be careful walking in here. It doesn't look very safe.
Okay.
Some of the window panes are out too. I guess you could take shelter in here in case of emergencies, but... All right, this is my friend Dave, and he and I met a few days ago, and we were hiking in the Smokies together, and he actually has a trail name, and you go by?
I'm Rebel.
Rebel, okay, and he has a very interesting story, and he's actually hiking for a cause, and so I'm going to let him talk a little bit more about that now.
Okay, so my real name's Dave, but I go by Rebel. I'm actually the hiking rebel. I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2026 to raise money for a veteran scholarship at the University of Mississippi. The scholarship is aimed at young folks, preferably those with families, to help them get an education. So in my nearly 4 decades of military service, the one thing that was in common was a lot of bright people out there that just didn't have the means to go to school. And so they joined the military to get the GI Bill, and that's just not enough. So we've started this scholarship. It's the University of Mississippi. You can find me online at The Hiking Rebel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and our scholarship cause. I thank you for your time.
Awesome, and I'm really excited that we got to know each other and hike the Smokies together. I know you're hiking on past me, but I'm glad that our paths connected. So thank you so much for all that you did. All right, we did it. We hiked up Mount Cammerer Fire Tower, however you pronounce it, and got to hear about Dave's really cool story and what he's doing. And now we're back to the AT. 4 miles till we get to our shelter, and I'm gonna let the Rebel lead the way. Here we go. A little over 3.5 miles to go. Now the rush is to beat the dark. Pine cone. It's pretty.
You falling back off a tree? There you go.
Yeah, that was good. Ooh, I'm probably gonna fall on it too. Here we go, crawling over a log. See, here we go, did it. Look how the trail has changed. We're hiking the leaves again, but we're 2 miles away. It's getting a little bit darker, but I still think we're gonna beat it. We're gonna get there before dark. 1 mile to go, almost there. It's about 6 o'clock. We're gonna beat the sun going down. Yes, we are. Last one of the day. Last one. You can see the shelter from up here on the trail. You see it? Down there? That's where I'm going.